looking for that healthy, youthful, fresh look for under your makeup, then keep watching because I'm going to show you a great anti-aging skincare routine that is going to be customized for all different sorts of skin types and will give you that perfect base for under your makeup. Hey guys, it's Cam and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm continuing my how-to makeup series and we are talking about skincare today, and specifically anti-aging skincare with some skin concerns thrown in, so that way you can have flawless skin under your makeup and even go without makeup sometimes because your skin will just glow. So make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the videos in my how-to makeup series, and also I'm going to link them up here for you so that way you don't miss any single one. If you do find this video helpful, then please hit that like button down below, and I'll also be linking all the products that I talk about today in the description box for you. So I really wanted to do a video covering skincare for you because I feel like it's really important to get that down. It's just going to help your makeup application go on so much smoother and look better, and really it's never too early to start anti-aging. Not only that, I'm also going to cover some certain skin problems that are fairly common and how you can deal with them, because there's also a lot of topical solutions for things like that. This also just doubles as my own personal skincare routine. I'm going to show you a lot of products that I use on myself and kind of tell you about alternatives if you have a different skin type than I do. I personally believe that it's never too early to start the anti-aging process, and I think that there is just so much information out there and so much marketing that it can be kind of hard to dissect everything and figure out what really works and what doesn't. So I wanted to do a very simple, very condensed skincare routine, so that way it's not like 12 steps and you need to buy a ridiculous amount of products, and everything here is extremely effective and scientifically proven, because trust me, I don't want to be wasting my money on stuff that is just, over glorified and doesn't work. And so all of these things really help with anti-aging and just keeping your skin healthy, keeping that skin barrier intact, because especially me, I don't have any Botox or fillers yet, and I really want to hold off on that as late as I can, because once you start, it's really hard to stop and you keep having to get it to maintain the results. So if you start early with your skincare, then you can push that off for much further in the future. So obviously, to start forming a routine, you're going to have your morning portion and your night portion, and these are going to be different because what we're going to try to incorporate are what I would say are the three main proven ingredients in anti-aging skincare, which are antioxidants, AHAs, and retinol. And so you can combine some of them need to be used at certain times of the day, or they don't play nicely together. So I'm going to show you what to use when, how to layer everything. And again, I'm going to show you alternatives for if you have a different skin type or for just different budget options. Alrighty, so first things first, in the morning, you're going to want to wash off all those creams and oils that you put on the night before. Your skin might feel a little heavy and it might feel a little oily. So to just start over, make sure everything absorbs, wash your face in the morning. And what I'm personally using is the Paula's Choice Resist Foaming Cleanser. And I love Paula's Choice products. I'm going to mention a lot in this video, but this is essentially the same thing as the CeraVe Foaming Cleanser. So for a great drugstore option, it's essentially the same thing because both of them have ceramides, which are really important for when you wash your face, so that way you're not stripping and just opening your skin barrier. It has to be the right pH, so that's really important. I'm using the foaming one because since I'm in my 20s still and I wear very heavy makeup, my skin is combination. With all of those things, I just want a slightly more heavy-duty cleanser, so the foaming one will be more cleansing than the hydrating one. And so both Paula's Choice and CeraVe have a hydrating cleanser, which I recommend if your skin is more mature or if it's on the drier side, because it's definitely going to strip it less. And in general, just be more moisturizing. And so all of these cleansers, the foaming one from CeraVe and Paula's Choice, and the hydrating one from CeraVe and Paula's Choice, have ceramides in them and they're pH optimized. So they're really going to make sure that they don't disturb the skin barrier and instead just reinforce it, because that's a way that you can cause skin problems, is if you're not using something pH optimized and it can just wreak havoc on your skin. So once your face is all nice and clean, the very first thing that you want to put on your face will be antioxidants, which they really do a great job of protecting against environmental damage and neutralizing free radicals in just the polluted air that we're surrounded by. So the most standard one, and one that I recommend, is vitamin C. I'm sure you've all heard of vitamin C serums, and I would say probably the most studied and most effective form is L-ascorbic acid is what I would look for, and in a concentration of 15%. That's generally going to be your norm. So if your skin is a little more on the sensitive side, you can go down to 10%. There are some that have that concentration, but I'm just going to generally talk about ones with 15% concentrations because that's what I used to use, so I'm more familiar with those products. The very first one that I ever used was the Skinceuticals CE Ferulic, which is like the gold standard in vitamin C serums, and it's really, really expensive, I know, but obviously it was developed to be just extremely effective. It's a cult favorite, but when that one was too pricey for me, the best dupe for that one that I found, and there's a lot of imitations out there, was the Paula's Choice C15 Booster, which basically has the same ingredients, and when I used it and applied it, it felt almost identical to the Skinceuticals serum. However, because I have rosacea, which really sucks, once I started incorporating just other anti-aging things like retinol and AHAs, my skin just became too sensitized from the vitamin C, and so I switched over to a different type of antioxidant. And so the product that I'm using now is the Ordinary's Resveratrol 3% and Ferulic acid 3%. Now what you'll find is that ferulic acid is also in all of the vitamin C serums, but this combines it with resveratrol, so it just doesn't have that potential for irritation. This feels very soothing on the skin, and mostly people use resveratrol at night, but there's nothing that says that you can't use it during the day. And I actually apply this one over either my lactic or salicylic acid serums or hyaluronic acid. So this goes as my last step before moisturizing and sunscreen. And again, it just does a great job being an antioxidant with no irritation. Now, that's just my skin. Your skin can probably handle the vitamin C, so I recommend trying that first. Like, for example, my mom uses the vitamin C every morning and all her other anti-aging things, and she has normal skin, so she's able to handle it perfectly fine. But for me, it was just too much, so that's why I switched to using this. Speaking of rosacea, if you want me to do a video on how I handle my rosacea and how I've dramatically made it better, then let me know down below in the comments section if that's a video that you'd like to see. So the two main heavy lifters in anti-aging are AHAs, which are alpha hydroxy acids, and retinol. And I don't recommend applying those at the same time because you're going to get so much irritation and it's going to just overly sensitize your skin. So what I like to do is do the AHAs in the morning and retinol at night. So the product that I'm currently using as my AHA is the Ordinary's Lactic Acid 5%, and it does have some hyaluronic acid for hydration. So that way this lactic acid isn't very irritating. Now, I love the Ordinary's products because they're just an insanely cheap price point. Like, when I first discovered this brand, I was like, how are they even making money? Because all of this stuff is so cheap, and I love that they just stick with the basic active ingredients so that way you can create the perfect targeted skincare routine. But a big complaint that people have with the Ordinary's products is that they're not like cosmetically elegant, so that they don't feel nice on the skin, sit nice on the skin, which personally for me, I don't have any issues with them. But I have also like essentially used all the equivalents from Paula's Choice for these products. And so if you do want something that's a slightly smoother, nicer texture per se, then the Paula's Choice Resist Daily Smoothing Treatment has 5% AHA as well. So it's essentially the same thing, but it is a slightly higher price point. Since AHAs have an increased potential for irritation, like I personally can only use this twice a week in the morning, whereas my mom can just use this every single day after her vitamin C without issue. But I recommend, especially with this, assessing your tolerance. So try it a couple times a week, and if you don't experience any irritation after that, then gradually move it up and you should be able to use this daily. Now for certain skin problems, and mainly I would classify them as dryness or sensitive skin issues, and then on the opposite end of the spectrum, oiliness and acne. So personally, I do get a little bit of acne just on my cheeks, and that's part of having the rosacea. I also have really bad blackheads on my nose. So what I've been using is The Ordinary's Salicylic 2%. And this is great because it's a BHA as opposed to an AHA, which really deep cleans your pores and just helps to mattify your skin. Now, the downside with this one, I would say, is that a lot of people complain about, and I felt myself, that this foams a little bit, which might be weird when you apply it. I just give it a couple minutes to dry, and then the foam disappears, and I'm good to go to put other things on. But if you do want, again, a more cosmetically elegant solution, then Paula's Choice has a really wide array of 2% salicylic acid products, and they have them in gels, they have them in liquids, so whatever form you prefer, I definitely recommend those because they do sit really nicely under makeup. Again, they're at a higher price point, but they're also just really effective. And I do use this on the days when I'm not using the lactic acid. Now, if your skin is on the drier side, which mine tends to get in the winter, but I haven't had that bad of an issue with it this winter, then I recommend getting a 2% hyaluronic acid serum on the flip side. And again, The Ordinary has a 2% hyaluronic acid solution, and they did just come out with a lighter version of that, which is the marine hyaluronics. But Paula's Choice also does make a hyaluronic acid booster to really give your skin that extra hydration and just, really help with those flakes and that irritation as well. And both of these can be used day and night underneath your moisturizer. And if you have just very combination skin where your T-zone's really oily and your cheeks are really dry, then you can definitely use them to spot treat as well. I've done that where I just put the salicylic on my T-zone and then the hyaluronic acid on my cheeks. Okay, and then the next step is to moisturize. Now, the step after that is sunscreen. And so some people like to combine a moisturizer that has sunscreen in it, but I would be very careful about that because a lot of standard moisturizers with sunscreen like to use chemical sunscreens, and I absolutely don't recommend those. I personally have had horrible experiences with them where I just had really bad cystic acne around my chin and jawline, and I had no idea what was causing it, and the minute that I stopped using chemical sunscreens, it cleared up. So if you are struggling with acne, then the first thing I would recommend is drop the chemical sunscreen because it's an endocrine disruptor, it's messing with your hormones, and you don't want to be putting that on your face. I repeat, do not use chemical sunscreens, please. So if you do want something that combines a moisturizer with a sunscreen, look for ones that have zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. And so one that I'm using, especially now when it's winter and it's a little drier out, is this Paula's Choice Mineral Moisturizer. And this has SPF 30. And it's very moisturizing. It's for dry skin. Another option is just to use a separate moisturizer and a separate sunscreen. So when I do go that route, I'm using the Paula's Choice Resist Barrier Repair Moisturizer. And this is essentially an equivalent of the CeraVe PM lotion. So I recommend that one as a good daytime moisturizer as well. And then for sunscreen on top of that, I'm using the Australian Gold Tinted Mineral Lotion. And this has SPF 50, which is purely mineral and the slightest tint, and it just really performs well as a primer. So some days I'll do that combination. And so essentially with moisturizer, especially for the AM, both of these have ceramides, and if you're looking for a good standalone moisturizer, that's probably the most important ingredient that I would prioritize, because they're going to ensure that your skin is protected throughout the day and that nothing is compromising your skin barrier. And especially since we are using all these AHAs and retinols and exfoliants, it's really important that you make sure that you apply a sunscreen after, because your skin will be sensitized from the sun. And personally, I've had really bad chemical burns from going out in the sun and not applying enough sunscreen, which is why I recommend going no lower than 30. And just make sure you apply it every day. Rain, shine, summer, winter, indoor, outdoor, doesn't matter. If there's light in the room, then it's affecting your skin. Remember that. So unless it's completely dark out, wear sunscreen. So now you're all done with your day and it's time to wash all that makeup off, or just wash your face if you've gone through your day. And so the first step would be to double cleanse, but I only think that double cleansing is necessary if you've worn a lot of makeup. I personally don't even do it, even if I've worn like a light BB cream. But if I've worn some heavy foundation and a lot of makeup, then on days when it's a little more hot outside or my skin is feeling really oily, I use the Garnier Micellar cleansing water. And so what you do is just shake it up and then put it on a cotton pad, and on dry skin, just kind of wipe it over your makeup and it should take all that makeup off. Now, if your skin is on the dry side, or it's winter now, so I've been using this instead, and this is the L'Occitane Oil Makeup Remover. Again, you would just pump it onto your dry face and kind of emulsify it, and you'll see all that makeup start melting off. And then afterwards, with both of these, you would go in with your regular cleanser. So for me, that's the Paula's Choice Foaming Cleanser again. And so next up, after your face is freshly washed, you want to go in with your retinol. And the one that I've been using recently is the Paula's Choice Intensive Wrinkle Repair Retinol Serum. And this one has, I believe it's a 0.1 concentration of retinol in it, so it's very gentle and it just feels so silky on the skin. But I've already started noticing a lot of results from this. I feel like my fine lines and pores look so much better, and I absolutely love this one. But as with all the other Paula's Choice products, they can range from like about $20 to like maybe mid-30s. So as a cheaper alternative, I have the Ordinary's 0.2% retinol serum. And this is a great one in their range. They do have quite a wide variety of concentrations of it, but because I have rosacea and very sensitive skin, I'm still sticking to lower concentrations, and personally, I can only use them twice a week. So if you're getting started in retinol, I recommend getting one of these low concentrations, starting a couple times a week, and then work your way up to every single day. Once you've done that, then you can increase the concentration, and I believe they have all the way up to like 2%. So there's a lot of room for working your way up and also seeing greater results the stronger concentration you use. Now, if you're gonna use a retinol, same as with the AHA, please use a sunscreen every single morning. It is so important, because the reason why you want to use your retinol at night is because it degrades in the sunlight. And so essentially, when they're exposed to sunlight, all of these things kind of start becoming oxidants. So you're going to get the opposite results as what you're trying to achieve. And it's just going to age your skin faster and destroy it if you don't follow up with sunscreen. So please, even if you haven't used your retinol the night before, still use sunscreen, because your skin will be sensitized. And so on nights where I'm not using the retinol, and after I apply the retinol, I use the Ordinary's Resveratrol and Ferulic acid serum again, because you do want to apply antioxidants both in the morning and at night. And this one's just really great for nighttime because it doesn't have that irritation from vitamin C, and it plays really nicely with retinol as well. And so retinol really is like the biggest heavy-duty anti-ager. So you really want to be careful with it. Never forget your sunscreen. And you may notice some redness or your skin being a little more flaky and peely. And so when that happens, you do want to back off a little bit, give your skin some time to recover from it, and just really assess your tolerance well, and really only go harder with it once you've acclimated your skin well. And so lastly, at night, you're going to want to apply a really great nighttime moisturizer. And this is where I feel like things get exorbitantly priced and there's a lot of deceptive marketing, because even recently my mom asked me for a recommendation for a night cream. And when I went to suggest something, she was like, well, is this firming? Is this firming? Because that's what I'm looking for. And, you know, her old night cream said that it was firming, but I really think it only had like retinol palmitate in it, which is a very weak form of retinol, and I definitely don't recommend it. You're really not going to see much results from that. And so again, it's just deceptive marketing, because what really firms your skin is using things like high quality retinols, like AHAs, things that really build up that collagen in your skin. But also your skin will greatly suffer if you don't use a moisturizer that has essential skin lipids in it, because that is what keeps your skin barrier intact. And if your skin barrier is compromised, then that's when your skin really starts losing firmness. And so what essential skin lipids are is a combination of ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids. and you want to look for all 3 of those, or at least 2 out of 3 in your moisturizer to really help your skin retain moisture and keep your skin barrier strong and uncompromised. And it's especially going to help soothe your skin with all these really strong anti-agers that we're using, like acids and retinol. So the moisturizer that I've been using at night recently is the CeraVe Skin Renewing Night Cream. And this is a really nice heavy-duty nighttime moisturizer. It's basically the reason why I haven't needed a separate hyaluronic acid serum this year, because this also has hyaluronic acid and niacinamide in it, as well as those essential skin lipids that I just talked about. And a comparable Paula's Choice product for this would probably be the Intensive Repair Cream. It's also a really nice, thick, rich, heavy-duty night cream. So the product that I was trying to get a dupe for when I bought this was the Skinceuticals Triple Lipid Restore, which is a really great thick night cream that has those essential skin lipids that we just talked about. So if you have the money to shell out for that one, it's an amazing high-end option. And if you feel like your skin doesn't need quite as much hydration, then you can go in again with something like this, the Paula's Choice Barrier Repair Moisturizer. And this is basically the same thing as the CeraVe PM Lotion. So if this CeraVe product is too heavy for you, then just use the PM Lotion at night. And what I like to do is use the lighter lotion in the morning and the heavy cream at night. But you can use the lighter lotion both AM and PM if your skin is on the oily side. And if your skin is on the drier side, then definitely feel free to use the heavy cream both AM and PM as well. And so let's recap everything really quickly. In the morning, you want to wash your face. And then you're going to apply your vitamin C serum. Then follow it up with your lactic acid. And on days where you don't use that, salicylic acid or hyaluronic acid, although these can be layered directly on top of the lactic acid as well. And then personally for me, because the Resveratrol is a slightly heavier texture, I go in with my Resveratrol serum because I skipped using the vitamin C serum. Then on top of that, you want to moisturize. So you're either going to use your combination moisturizer with sunscreen, and please use mineral-only sunscreen, or you can go in with a regular moisturizer plus your sunscreen on top. And then in the evening, if you've been wearing heavy makeup, use the appropriate makeup remover, and then the same cleanser you used in the morning. And if you haven't worn makeup, then you can just skip to using the cleanser. Then use your retinol product, and afterwards layer on the Resveratrol Antioxidant Serum. Or on days when you're not using your retinol, you can just use this serum. Then apply your nighttime moisturizer, either light or heavy, depending on your needs. And that's it, you're all done. Now, because I have rosacea, I do use some other products that I didn't mention to help with that. And it's really not for everybody. Like, if you have normal skin, then you don't need it at all. But if you're someone that struggles with rosacea, let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a video on that, and then I'd love to show you what's been helping me out with that. So obviously, I'm not sponsored by any of these brands. If I was, I would let you know. But this is just personally what I've seen the most results from. And I've tried so many different skincare products, and I think that might even be what caused my skin irritation in the first place, because I just hopped from product to product. But these are really the basic ingredients that I feel like are absolutely necessary in an anti-aging routine, and really just to keep your skin looking youthful and clear every day. And I did try to include products in every single price range from budget to slightly more high-end, and also customizing all of these recommendations based on whether your skin is more oily and acne prone or whether your skin is dry and sensitive. I'll be linking all these products down below in the description box for you, so definitely check them out. And if you don't already have a really great skincare routine that you're super happy with, then definitely give these products a try, because I've had amazing results from them. I feel like my skin is finally stabilized and is just looking better and better every year rather than looking like I'm aging. And so if you do give them a try, let me know in the comments section which are your favorite, or if you have any further questions or need some extra customization, and I'll definitely answer for you. But I would be really hard pressed to try to find better products than these, especially at some of these prices. And if you found this video helpful or informative, then please hit that like button down below for me. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, because we're just getting started in my how-to makeup series, and I have so much more information coming your way and great videos that you don't want to miss. I'll even start linking some of them here for you, but we're really just getting started. So stay tuned and subscribe. And if you're still here, here's a couple more videos by me you can check out. And then click on my face right here and it'll subscribe you to my channel so you don't miss out on all of my upcoming videos. That's it. Mwah. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope your skin glows forever.